We pick up the action now at 125 pounds. J.J. Fastnacht of Pine Grove High School, District 11, against Ivan Rosario, Northern Lehigh, District 11. Two seniors on the mat, no score.
That's another, I guess that's the third bout tonight, Marv. There was no takedown in the first period.
Yes, that's correct. A very good point, Larry.
Overcautious kids. But again, exactly that. They are kids. I'm not saying, 17, 16, 18 years of age. It's a new experience for a lot of them.
Plus the fact, Larry, that they've been here 3 days. They're all champion-level wrestlers, and they're working and working their dreams, their ambitions, and their hopes, and they don't want to make some foolish mistake, and that leads to that. But that'll end in this next bout, because you'll have two guys coming out like cats in a bag in this next one. So stay tuned.
Young boys.
Ivan Rosario of Northern Lehigh High School with the white jersey on the mat against J.J. Fastnacht of Pine Grove in the solid maroon.
Both placed third last year. Excuse me. They couldn't have. But in 1990, Rosario last year was third, and the year before that, Fastnacht placed third and was a champion last year. So he's the defending champion.
A good defending champion. In nicely on that ankle. Boy, Rosario showed some strength there, didn't he, Larry?
Yep. He might do that figure four over the head. That's going to end up as a stalemate.
Potentially dangerous also on the neck. Here we go on the feet.
Well, you heard the call from the referee. Gave both.
There you can see Northern Lehigh's Bob Kern and his assistant.
I'm impressed with the fact that Rosario had the wiry strength and leverage. He's had to try to do it again. No, he just turns inside on it.
Nothing.
Rosario wrestling very tough when he's in the defensive circumstance.
15 seconds left in the second period. 1-0 lead for defending champ J.J. Fastnacht.
Rosario a half shot, still probing. Fastnacht has had two shots well countered by Rosario as both men move to the second period.
Period concludes. It's a tight 1-0 lead for Fastnacht of Pine Grove.
Third period, 1-0 red.
Third and final period on the way.
Get set. Okay, on red.
I think he was born on Shrove Tuesday, Marv.
I thought about that since I've heard of Fastnacht. Well,
I was thinking, I think it was somebody else you referred to, but I'm not going to bring it up. But I'm sure JJ gets kidded enough about it. But you tell him he's 38-0 and defending state champion and maintaining top position and a 1-point lead.
We're at 125 pounds of
now
the
it's tied.
AA final.
Neutral.
Those are guys you would think Rosario would be very hard to hold down, but in his matches in the tournament, he's been excellent, but sometimes I think they've been able to ride him out, but Fastnacht's style's a little different here. Both men now know that one move could do it all. We had in the very first bout, the 103-pound bout, Rose hit the roll and Peterson did through.
Well, we've had almost 5 minutes of wrestling and no takedown so far.
1 point each. 1:06 to go.
Boys.
Part of the large crowd. Nearly 7,500 here at the Hershey Park Arena for the AA championships.
That's too far of a reach for a takedown, and he's down low.
Rosario, Larry, does a good job, doesn't he, staying on top of that head?
Yeah, but I thought he'd spin around and go around the back once his head hit the mat like that. But I think he's just as cautious.
Yeah, good point, Larry. Rosario, quick peek at the clock. There's 35 seconds left, Shell.
Coming up on 30. Still nothing.
We're tied at 1-1. This is a District 11
Warning.
championship final. District 11 composed of 6 counties: Monroe, Carbon, Schuylkill, Berks, Lehigh, and Northampton counties.
Shrug attempt almost by Fastnacht. Rosario had been warned for stalling with 30 seconds to go. We're down now, and you look at the count. This could well go into overtime, and if it does, there'll be a minute rest. And then there'll be 3 periods of 1 minute each.
Fastnacht with a daring
There's
shot.
a nice opportunity to go around the back, but doesn't get it. But there's a an attempt, but nothing will happen. It's at the buzzer.
Dramatic conclusion to the regular time, but no points on the board. We're even at 1 in overtime coming up.
So the clock's counting down, and I'll take this opportunity to congratulate Marianne Grisano, who was elected Coach's Wife of the Year by Wrestling USA magazine. Marianne's husband coaches at Sun Valley High School in Aston, PA.
While we have a moment, we would like to thank the fine staff of the PIAA tournament, with particular appreciation to the tournament director, that gentleman in the middle, the PIAA Assistant Executive Director, Bob Lombardi, and his fine staff for the fine cooperation they give us. This is the 13th consecutive year that Channel 39 WLVT in the Lehigh Valley has originated these championships for the 7 stations of the Pennsylvania Public Television Network.
Well, one of the things I have to also say to you, Shell, is that Bob Lombardi doesn't only help you on the day of the tournament. He was concerned about every little thing for us, the truck in place, the everything that was needed, the security. He did a great job. And here we go for overtime.
And of course, if this 3 minutes of wrestling goes like the last 3 minutes, we get into the criteria, and there are 12 pre-printed, distinct, agreed-upon criteria that if it ends up tied, you notice the score doesn't go back to 0-0, which a lot of people are used to. The score still stays what it was, 1-1. Sequence of penalties, everything stays the same, and everything's cumulative. So remember, there has been a warning against Rosario. That came with 30 seconds remaining in the last period.
And this is not sudden death.
No,
like we have in
collegiate
college.
wrestling. By the way, Marv,
another
after
big
watching
change.
sudden death in 2 tournaments, I like it.
it too.
Terrific. And I think the high schools ought to consider it. It would get rid of this 1-1-1. In other words, a sudden death, the emphasis is on the loser.
Dangerous on his knee.
But the bottom line is whoever gets the first point, takedown or whatever it is, he wins. And he's got 3 minutes. There's no rest between the end of the bout and the start of the next. You just flip the coin, and you don't even flip a coin. You just get out there and start.
Well, it's actually performance-oriented right there in the overtime. For instance, here, if Rosario's warned again, it'll be a point. And at that stage of it, he's got the first criteria against him. The whole match changes solely not on what he'll do, but on criteria.
But in the college ranks, if you get warned and then you get penalized in the overtime, that's the first point.
And it's done.
It's all over.
So you got a different type of thing.
There's no question about it. There's nothing happened in that period. Again, there hasn't been a takedown the whole match, and I was wondering if anything's going to happen to get one.
Work for the fall.
Referee Dodd has said to Rosario, work for the fall. That may be a precursor of a man who's been warned, getting some advice.
Keep working. Keep working.
There's a shoulder roll, but nothing's coming of that. Followed nicely, but there's the escape. He was totally inside the mat, and the 1 finally goes up. Fasnacht, during that routine, stayed inside on the white circle, and therefore didn't go out of bounds, earned the escape. He now leads 2-1. Pine Grove grappler. Both wrestlers are seniors.
2-1 lead. Fasnacht of Pine Grove over Ivan Rosario of Northern Lehigh. Rosario in the white and blue.
Yep. Nothing.
Larry, Rosario had an excellent opportunity and didn't finish.
That's the 3rd time he's had that opportunity. He'll see it again on tape when he watches this.
Period ends. 2-1 lead. Fasnacht out in front. 3rd overtime coming up.
Down. 3rd period, 2-1 red. Set.
Now, if Rosario gets out, we're going to get into that rule book of yours, Larry, for criteria. Nothing else happens.
Well, the number of escapes are the same if he gets out.
Real quick, it runs this way. You know, unsportsmanlike conduct is the first, then near falls, and then takedowns. Well, we haven't seen any of that. Then it's reversals.
Got a warning.
Now we got a warning. Now we have both wrestlers warned. And then it goes to escapes. Now, right now, that's the criteria. There's 2 escapes to 1 escape.
Suppose he gets an escape now, Larry. It's 2-2 in escapes, and
All
that's
right.
the way it ends. Where are you then?
And we both have stalling. Then you go down.
It's whoever got the best looking uniform, I think, Marvin.
There's the escape.
There it is.
Now 30 seconds to victory. Which man? Let's watch it.
This is unbelievable coming down to this criteria if there are no takedowns. I don't know if we've ever gone this far in my recollection.
Rosario's in on the leg.
Let's see.
That's his first really good shot. See if he
20
can finish.
seconds.
Wizard's still there.
Rosario's going to have to make something of this in the last 20. You can see the time coming on down. But there is no more mat to go with 12 seconds.
This is going to be a referee's decision.
Unbelievable. Going through 4 criteria here.
Good whizzer by Fosnock, saved the day. Rosario pursuing him. Fosnock with an underhook.
Referee's
5
decision.
seconds.
I would hate to make the call on this one. This is going to be tough. Period ends, and we're going to go through 4 criteria here. We're going to go down. Let's listen to the officials here. He's going to make the call.
Well, the first one's unsportsmanlike conduct. There was none. No near falls, no takedowns, no reversals, greater number of escapes. They both have 2.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Here you are.
Greater number of points for near falls. That's not it. Greater number of takedowns. There were no takedowns.
Go to
If tie
12.
remains. Greater number of reversals. There weren't any. Greater number of escapes.
This is the
2.
5th criteria.
2.
No, there was.
Tie remains. The
It goes to
wrestler whose
12.
opponent has been penalized a greater number of times should be declared the winner. We had nobody penalized.
That's 6.
Tie remains. Opponent has been
Unbelievable.
penalized a
Go
greater
to
number of
12.
times for illegal holds. We didn't have that. Tie remains. Opponent has been penalized a greater number of times for technical violations. We didn't have that. Tie remains. The wrestler who has scored the first near fall. Didn't have that. Tie remains. The one who has the first takedown. There were no takedowns. If tie remains, the wrestler whose opponent has been warned for stalling. This man was warned for stalling. This man warns for stalling. We're down to our final criteria. Referee's decision.
Overall wrestling ability, including aggressiveness.
And what it is,
Let's
is
listen.
He was more aggressive in the last 3 periods.
He shot the most times, I believe. The other boy shot at the beginning of the match, but in the overtime, I felt Green was the boy who was stalling or going after the takedown most of the time. He was the most aggressive wrestler.
That's what I believe also.
Okay, all right.
Well, we have agreement. It's unanimous.
Rosario came alive at the end when he needed it. 30 seconds to victory.
Criteria number 12, which is a referee's decision. Winner.
We have never seen that, Larry.
I have.
I have not. Well, at least I had not seen it in any of the matches we've done. And Ivan Rosario wins it on the